Ladies and gentlemen, I want to begin this video today by asking a very simple question. And my question is this. If Mount Kenya could dump one of their own, Uhuru Kenyatta, a man they fondly referred to as the Anointed One, if the mountain could dump Uhuru Kenyatta, is there any guarantee that the mountain cannot dump William Samoei Arap Ruto? For me, if you ask me, the mountain is already drifting far away from William Samoei Arap Ruto. And the signs are already out there for all to see. Over the weekend, there was an event in Ruiru. And the Member of Parliament, Simon Nganga, attended that event. It was hugely attended. But when the Member of Parliament rose to speak, everything was just fine until the moment he started mentioning the name William Ruto and the name Rigathi Gachagua, and the crowd just couldn't listen to him. They booed him. The Member of Parliament could not explain to the people how William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua are going to make things happen as they promised in 2022.
No ito cia thirikari na cito itingiruta wira we mwega ito igithukangagio. Kwa hivyo mimi niwaombe watu wa Ruiru kwa unyenyekevu mwingi mno. Hiyo migomo wameitiza, tafadhali usiende kwa huo mgomo. Kwa sababu wakati duka imefungwa, jaa imeongezeka zaidi. Na njoke julia terere. Andu mariga kwina ngaragu. He mundu ngihota gukura reri muhutu. Ujo ni mundu muhunu ni mundu mwaganu. Koguo mutikanyitane na mundu ucio mwaganu wa kunina itura ritu. Na murugame na Daktari William Samoei Ruto na Gachagua. Tondu andu acio ona inie guoko andu acio no magateithia bururi witu. Tondu tutire na thamaki angi. Hao ndio watasimama na sisi. Na unajua hata hawajamaliza hata mwaka moja. Wako na miezi 8. Ona kone mwanadaki siaretwo. Mimi niwaambie wazi kama mjumbe na mtumishi wenu.
Yes.
Na mimi nitaendelea kuongea haki kwa sababu haki ndio itaokoa nyinyi, si uongo.
Yes.
Haki ndio itaokoa nyinyi. Mimi Simon Nganga niwaambie haki kwa sababu haki ndio mtakura milele na itadumu. Kwa hivyo nitoe mchango wangu.
And what surprised me the most was that this particular event was a church event. William Ruto penetrated the mountain using the church. Is it possible that the same church platform which William Ruto used to win the mountain is going to be the beginning of his downfall? That is the question, because during that same event, a pastor there was speaking. And when he started telling William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua the truth about the real situation in the country, everybody turned into frenzy.
Na riria tukwariria andu aya ni maririo ta maraheo gitio tondu maica ni maritu biu, na tutige gutinda haha tukirwo uhoro wa Raila hindi ciothe, na matige gutinda makigweta Uhuru hindi ciothe. Okorwo Raila ni areka mahitia ni anyitwo nake arare thiini. Etiguo etio thirikari we makwira uhoro wa Raila ri marenda wiki atia? Makwira tinde makwira uhoro wa president wa umire ri marakwira wiki atia? Na hindi o wina ciana ithatu ikurorete iguru na wendo na ri araji. Na tondu haha noho abunge marugamaga makari uria marenda. Ni turekwo ona ithuĩ twarie uria turona guku thi.
And that Ruiru event is actually shaking Kenya Kwanza regime. They are worried. And it's not only happening. And it's not only happening in Ruiru. The same weekend, there was another funeral, or was it an event in Kirinyaga? And an MC, I think elected on Azimio ticket, also attended that event. Listen to the crowd responding to his call for mandamano.
Our Deputy President tukiuma hapa turenda kuthi kuandamana Kenya menye ona Kirinya tutema kenu. Wangapi wanataka maandamano? Deputy President, angalia hao watu. Tunataka kwenda kwa barabara, tumalizane na hao watu na wakitaka noma hata sisi tuko na noma. Ana mranga gani?
Which clearly means that William Ruto's popularity in the mountain is going down. Why is William Ruto's popularity in the mountain going down? In one of my videos here, I think 2 weeks ago, when William Ruto went to, was it Tharaka Nithi, I did a comprehensive analysis about what I observed. In that analysis, I explained that William Ruto is actually losing the grip because the people were really not interested in his speech. And the same weekend, I think last week, William Ruto was also in Nakuru County. And I want you to pay very close attention to William Ruto trying to probe the crowd and the response from the crowd. The truth of the matter is, William Ruto was asking the crowd to respond to a certain issue, but the crowd was not interested, unlike before.
Watu wa Nakuru, sisi tumesimama imara. Muliona juzi, walifanya maandamano Ijumaa iliyopita, ile ingine watu 7 wakakufa. Wamefanya maandamano juzi, watu 8 wakakufa. Mimi nataka niwaulize, mnataka tuendelee na hii maandamano? Mnataka tuendelee na hii maandamano? Mimi nataka niwaambie, maandamano haiwezi tena kufanyika katika hii taifa letu la Kenya. Hiyo wanasema Wednesday, hiyo wanasema sijui lini, hiyo maandamano haiwezekani. Haiwezekani.
So the question is, what is really happening in the mountain? And why is William Ruto losing the support in the mountain? It can be summarized through the words of this pastor.
And when we are listening, we are preparing what to answer. And finally, I think we also have a instrumentized misery and poverty. In fact, I would say many times even weaponized tragedy, where we know that something has gone wrong. We go out there with our swords to find a ground to fight our opponents, but in a vicious, inhuman way. So we need to recover our humanity. Leadership needs to be human, humane, needs to be empathetic, needs to be compassionate. That's a leader. Currently, the leader is rough. The leader is insultive. The leader is arrogant. The leader is imposing. I think we are going to a very long leadership, and that's why the religious leaders are saying, let's talk.
So in this video today, I want us to look at why William Ruto is losing the grip of the mountain. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And without any further ado, guys, let us dive in. Let me ask you a question. If you were to remove the mountain from William Ruto, where will his support base be? Rift Valley. And the fact that William Ruto is not sure of the mountain could be the reason why he's not trying to focus on other regions. But let us not go into that for now. Let us focus on why William Ruto is losing the grip of the mountain. Number one, in my view, is that the mountain is tired with William Ruto's narrative, which is the same narrative. You see, when William Ruto took office, when William Ruto was campaigning, he made it very clear to the mountain that their problem was the dynasty, which is Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. William Ruto became the president of the Republic of Kenya. 6 months later, or 7 months later now, he still wants to go to the same people and tell them that it's now not Uhuru. He still wants to go to the same people to complain about Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. He still wants to go to the same people and make new promises, same promises he made for almost 5 good years. So basically, William Ruto's narrative in the mountain is now stale. The residents there are tired with the same story. And that's why they are no longer interested in William Ruto's speeches and what his allies are trying to tell them. Do you agree with me up to that point that William Ruto's narrative is now stale? The same promises. Let me just give you an example. William Ruto was in Homa Bay. If you listen to the same promises William Ruto made to Homa Bay residents, are the same ones he made when he first visited Homa Bay, the same one he made when he visited Homa Bay again, and the same one because he has been in Homa Bay 4 times. The same promises are the same ones he made. But now, that's Homa Bay. What about the mountain, where he went almost 1,000 times, just making the same promises? So it means the people there are now tired with the same narrative. They would rather just go about their thing, or you just leave them alone. Number 2, and this is also very important, the finance bill. You know, William Ruto is trying to sweep the concerns raised by Kenyans of all walks of life about the finance bill, and is trying to reduce it to Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta. Unknown to him, and this is the biggest mistake he's making, is the fact that the impact of the finance bill is already being felt by everybody. So that finance bill is very unpopular amongst Kenyans. And any elected leader who voted for that finance bill is actually finding it very rough, even in their own constituencies. And that's exactly what's happening with this guy. This guy voted yes to the finance bill. The cost of living is high. Then he still wants to make the promise that the same guy who increased those taxes are the same ones who are still going to fix it. It can't work like that. It can't work like that. So that finance bill, I mean, whatever happened in Ruiru is clearly a very strong message to William Ruto that Kenyans are actually tired with that finance bill. So if you can choose another item to run with, the better. But the finance bill is something which is unpopular. If I were to advise Ruto today, if I were to be employed in status for 2 days, and that my advice would be heeded to, I'll tell Ruto to do 2 things. The first thing I'll tell Ruto to do is to ensure that that finance bill is not passed the way it is. Let's use the court throws it out, then you revert, make another one. And participate in what is called public participation. There is no need of calling Kenyans to give their opinion on finance bill. They say no, then you implement. You see, that's the problem. Number 3, and this is a very big problem, they might not accept, but the kind of disrespect being showed to the Kenyatta family, or towards the Kenyatta family, by William Ruto's allies is having a toll on them. That is the reality. You know, even as much as the mountain voted for Ruto, as much as they voted against Uhuru Kenyatta, the reason could be because they didn't want Raila Odinga. It doesn't mean that the mountain voted for Ruto because they love Ruto. That is one fact which Ruto needs to understand. That Mount Kenya voted for him probably to punish Uhuru Kenyatta, or probably because of Raila Odinga. So you remove Uhuru out of the equation, you remove Raila out of equation, then it means the mountain can actually easily drift back to William Ruto. To Uhuru Kenyatta. And if you now use any opportunity to try and attack that family, do you think they'll take you lightly? First of all, they view you as someone who is vengeful. Secondly, they'll view you as someone who wants to destroy their son, because Uhuru Kenyatta will remain a Kikuyu. Nothing will change that. So that disrespect towards Uhuru Kenyatta, in my view, could be contributing. Number 4 is the political reality. The voters of the mountain voted for this Kenya Kwanza government. They were made promises. Now they are realizing that when the tire hits the road, it's actually individual who feels it. So the politicians are no longer there. The reality is, you'll buy unga, the same amount of money, someone in Kisumu or someone in Wajir will buy it. If the cost of fuel increases, it affects everybody. So now the reality is now dawning on them. And now they are remembering what Uhuru Kenyatta used to tell them. So they are now not interested. And lastly, I think William Ruto's policies so far are not hustler friendly. They don't favor poor people. William Ruto rode to the presidency on the platform of pro-poor. If you promised to do 1, 2, 3 for poor people, You promise them unga ita reduce, you promise them taxes utatoa, then you get in, the first thing you do is to increase taxes. The first thing you do to officiate over the increase of basic food commodities. Kenyans cannot really agree. The fact is, William Ruto's policies towards Kenyans is what is driving majority of Kenyans from him. I don't know what to think. But if you ask me, William Ruto's days in the mountain are numbered. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny.